We're on the Manzanita Trail in the highlands of Napa, and we're about ready to start a nice exploration. David Stig Hansen is here again. He's back fresh from world exploring.
Yep.
So we're in the park. You've seen it for the first time. We looked at the maps together. What are you expecting to see?
I'm expecting to see three walls coming together at the top of this hill here. And it was quite a hill. It's more of a mountain. But what I saw on the map is very, very straight, half-mile long straight lines, and they're all converging into one top. So that's what we're gonna see at the top.
So we've got the last section of our switchback.
Yep.
And we're gonna go up through, which looks like melted stairs to me.
The Dendera stairs.
So we've got some extreme weathering and decay, and we're looking at a lot of lichen and a lot of layers. Let's head up.
Yeah, lichen galore. And when does the moss become a lichen itself? Seems like you got to have some type of an activity for the lichen to get started.
So here's an exposed layer of material on top of that rock that has a tan color. To me that looks similar to the mortar that I've used in the trades.
Yeah, that's weird right there. That looks like it's an inch thick layer of cement. My mother has that color on her floor, so and that's one of my favorite colors right there. That you said tan, I say kind of semi-beige. Has a little bit of sunlight in it. These things are just crazy. I mean, you don't see usually so much ripples in natural stuff like that. It's not just a, how do you say it? It's not just a uplifted strata piece. It's like, there's a fire, huh? That fire didn't get very far. Who did that?
There's been a lot of historical fires here, but it's usually helps us see more.
Well,
these are large
weird
steps.
This one part's burnt. It looks like somebody was doing like a stove. We're about to see the California Mystery Walls.
So what do you make of this this section here? How would you, from a mainstream geology's explanation, what would we hear?
Sedimentary layers. I mean, but is it volcanic or is it? I mean, the mainstream says this was a volcano, right? That's very interesting.
The history is very blurry, and depending on who you talk to, you'll hear an entirely different story.
And then it's so different right next to it. So it's the same material, but that what I thought I saw down there was volcanic, and now we're seeing sedimentary, what, sandstone, limestone?
Let's have a look at this sedimentary brick joint.
There you go. Is that one of the walls?
This is part of it. It converges up on this hill, very likely.
No, see.
Under that oldest tree might be the convergence.
And that guy down there said the Chinese did that?
Yes.
So I lived in Taiwan. I know the culture. Taiwan's not China anymore, but it's the same. Oh, there we go. Wow, that's a lot different than I expected. That's a lot different. Look at that. That is just amazing. So the trivergence point is right there?
Up and beyond.
Are we going to get to that? We're going to get up there, right?
That's correct.
Let's go over here first. I don't know. I'm following you, but I'm.
So this is going to be a good place to, for us to stop our footage.
Gotcha.
And take in.
Just have a breath of fresh air, because wow.
So this wall goes potentially hundreds of yards.
Like half a mile we saw.
And then over here, we're going to walk through this lower opening, and it's going to take off down the hill in a straight line, as you can see. So we're standing on a middle point of this trail, and the wall is straight, and we're on the broken wall, and it continues straight. It's very hard to see the details because of
it's hard to believe
the
someone broke
overgrowth.
through this wall. I mean, Somebody broke through so we could have a path here, but
Right, so this is a popular mountain bike and hiking trail.
Okay.
So very likely this was just broken apart.
but not in our lifetime. This must have been broken apart.
Possibly.
I mean,
Possibly.
where are the pieces too?
But this to me,
Underneath right here.
have a look at this. So this stone appears to have a layer of mortar on top. And it's in a connected wall. And it is very ancient lichen. For the most part, it remains intact. Okay, good. I'm going to take a short break. So back at Skyline, on top of the ridge, Manzanita Trail, and this is where the three walls converge in the rugged terrain. So we're going to go into the Manzanita scrub, which is right up here on this hill, noticeably recent. These are not old trees. So that being said, we're going to use our imagination and see what would this look like with no foliage, which apparently was recent. And we're going to look for some examples of decomposed stone or construction materials, looking for mortar and whatnot. But this stone wall has very flat, true thicknesses. Some of it has very flat surface. That this one, for example, has a very bubbling surface. This does too. Yet, as you can see, it's a very flat surface, and it's part of the common building blocks of this large wall. As we get up on top, we can see it's expansive. And continuing on up the hill. So we're going to go back down into this section, and we're going to examine many things. Of course, David Stig Hansen is here, and we're going to be giving this a good, strong look, trying to be as logical and reasonable as possible, and see what kind of conclusions we can draw based on the things we're actually seeing.
What's the name of this park?
This is Skyline Park in Napa County.
Okay. When I'm standing up, it's on.
Okay.
One of the California mystery walls. This may be, maybe it's about that. You know what? I think I might have to start this over again. This always happens nowadays. Google Earth. And there's the great rock over there. I was just at Sutter's Butte yesterday. Okay, let's we're gonna go on this side, or we're gonna go on that side?
We're going to follow this trail down into where it
Yeah, I think
goes
I
to the
see,
left,
I think
and
I
we
see a
should be
place.
able to cut up through
Okay.
a trail that
You
we
want-
might make.
All right, we've got all this expensive gear. But no first aid kit. Oh, look at that block. See, some of these are faceted, very interestingly, but I think everything from the old was like destroyed in some explosion or something cataclysmic happened. Now, see, look at that layer on top of that. That's the kind of mortar thing you were talking about before.
Look right behind you. At this
Look at that.
squashed section.
Yeah, that's weird. And it looks like it's been burned. And I'm not a big fan of wind erosion. I just don't see how wind erosion could have done anything. Even I did just talk to Robert Schock, and he was talking about the Sphinx erosion. He was showing us the wind erosion versus, well, what do you think? Are we going to, I see a pathway here.
It comes together into some clearings which look suspiciously like foundation.
Here's a path. Yeah. Whoops. You want to go in front of me, please? Careful, though. Oh, that's... Okay, now we got to make our way back over there, right? Here's the wall. Thank you for the thumbs up. That was good. Thumbs up so we can get this live stage.
I'm approaching the trivergence. There's a metal box up here.
What's that like? Say that again?
There's a metal box down here.
Huh. Yeah, it surely is. I wonder what that's for.
Watch your step, it's a little shaky.
Yep, I'm watching. Look at that. Oh yeah, metal box. Oh, that's an ice skip. Okay, so I'm on the wall. Definitely mortar over here, you know? I'm on the wall. Where's the other walls?
So walk forward.
Well, I don't think I can go too much farther. The local explanation, when we ask people, and I can even show you on camera where we asked somebody, they said this was done by the Chinese after they stopped working on the railroad build. So, you really think that the Chinese were up here building it, even though it's open stacking type of wall, but I think it's a little bit more closer than like a circular structure. And there are millions of rocks in there. Do you think the Chinese moved millions of rocks to do what purpose? What purpose is up here? Where did that wall go?
It goes underneath this tree, these trees, and then it continues off and goes down some of the steepest terrain that we walked up on the way in here.
Are we? So this is definitely a different angle from that wall that we were just at, right, going that way. Where's the third one we saw in the Google Earth?
So this one, so this wall here continues up the ridge, and then it intersects with the wall we were standing on, where it triangulates, and then it's going to come down the other part. This is the tallest place in the area, and it's marked with the
there it is.
Oak tree on top.
Well, I think it's
Keep your eye out for snakes, okay?
Yeah, I got my thick socks on. I don't want to get bit by a snake. I still don't see what we saw from Google Earth. It was quite prominent, that trivergence. And I'm not understanding why we don't see the other part of the wall yet. Nice firewood.
Yeah, this is very flammable manzanita. Very hot fire and quick to burn off.
Yeah, luckily we didn't bring anything flammable, no lighters, no matches. We're not smoking. Can't get through there.
Do you see the wall? There it is.
There's definitely a wall. I want to get on it. If I can get on it, I think I can walk along in this one.
This is, okay, look across the valley. When you get up, you'll see the wall in the distance.
Yeah, I see it now. There it is, way over there. The wall's way over there as well.
Look straight ahead.
Look at this.
Look straight ahead 1/4 mile into the ravine right ahead of
That
you.
way?
Turn to your left,
Yeah,
90
good.
degrees.
No, I see that one.
Even further. Go another 1/4 turn
Oh yeah, there it is over
at the
there.
end of that trail.
That's the one right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's Skyline Park. So then zoom out and go to the top of the... Sorry, this is really... Don't let me snap you in the face.
Okay, very good. So we're on top
Look at this.
of an almost never seen or walked on. How about the condition of the mortar, which is all balled up?
Oh yeah, like this? Like what did this? You think this is a natural stone? I think that's the mortar on top of... It's all falling apart. So I'm destroying... Can't really see the screen. I saw some chats. Thank you, Crypto. California Mystery Wall. Where's the tent city? Hey, Stig TP. Hey, Adventurous Gnome. Skyline Park, Napa, California. There's no homeless around here. This is all grapevines. Thank you for saying he's back. Yes, I'm going to stick around if it suddenly drops off again. I'll come back when I can as soon as I don't know why I did that to me. It's just a small little shade. I guess the satellite's that way. Where'd they get them from? They must have, like, I'm saying mainstream explanation says the Chinese did it. They broke these up into these little rectangles and used mortar. I'd have to check in to see the history of...
So this is the corner
knowledge.
of the wall,
We don't really have that though, do we?
and we're coming to the edge of a very abrupt drop-off. Here's a continuation of the wall right across, and it does terminate down below in
Oh,
this
there it is, yeah.
ravine, which would be said there's a dam down there.
You see
And
a lot of
there's
water control with stuff like this.
Another earthen dam nearby. Let me tell your viewers a little something about this park.
Look at that. Wait.
So,
How many viewers do we have at this point? Maybe 9, I think I see.
very good. So across this ravine or canyon in the Skyline Park is called the Lake Marie Road. And it's a fire road that goes from the entrance to the park up into the park and past a very large earthen dam. But we're going to visit a location where if we showed you the thumbnail or asked you to review where it was from, you might say Turkey, you might say Egypt, you might say Jordan or Petra. It is the same machine marks, and there are very abrupt, flat, straight, inside 90-degree angles, as well as back cut channels that are possibly 30 feet off the ground, 8 feet deep, maybe 6 feet wide. Looks like some kind of a huge saw was used to back cut, but there seems to be no place to stage the equipment.
We're going to go down there. Hopefully the stream doesn't get weakened. By the way, I pointed, but I didn't say it. I'm standing on part of this California wall right now. I'm standing on it. So it's here and it's over there. I mean, this is the Chinese did this? Is that what they say?
Everyone will tell you. They did everything, actually.
So after they finished with the railroads, they came up here and I was standing on it. It's right under there. So that means that's going under this path, and I don't know unless they started it right there. I don't see any sign of the cut through. Wait, is this it right here?
It seems to be a terrace that is able to hold back this walking space or trail.
It's a terrace.
So it does seem it's been this is a form of terraforming.
I mean, you can't even see it right here, but you see it way over there, and then I was on it right there, and then where did it go? Some of them are black. Definitely a heat event in Wadane near the Eye of Africa.
So David Stig Hansen is live, and we're here with him today, and we're speaking about the conditions of these rock walls and the conditions of the land in Napa's Skyline Park.
Look at this.
And he says, look at this. So here we are.
Created, right?
Okay, now notice the slope of this wall. Notice the slope. That's approximately a 45-degree angle that goes down into this gully. It goes behind and is completely obscured by these trees, and then it goes up behind us Goes well up behind us,
Oh yeah, look at that.
up to the trivergence point. Why is this in Napa County?
Yeah, and why
Is this here?
would the Chinese do
Who would
that?
have time to do
What
this?
kind of animals are you trying to keep enclosed in there? I mean,
So let's have a peek at the surface of this material and see the extreme decomposition. The outside has become full of what we might call spherules. They are blobbing up into a circular pattern,
like
which
a corrosion, like rust
think
does.
we would see if we had a model or a demonstration. When things heat up, they tend to form in those blobs.
When
And then they solidify, like welding slag.
Yeah, when I have seen these ridges that were created by the ancients, like Pie Town, New Mexico, they are ferromagnetic. You can take the magnet and it sticks right to the rock. And so what's in there? Iron, obviously. And I wish I had brought a magnet just now to test that. Because, you know, that's right.
Have a look back at this wall.
Look at there, yeah.
Have a look at this.
Look at that. It goes right up the hill. Right up there.
Now these large square structures that come out that have flat surfaces and segments, what are you hearing would be the explanation of how something that would form? Over here you can see the segmented joints of this one section, but it's falling off at a curve. What was once flat has fallen off
How
at a
does
curve.
rock curve?
When it's extremely heated, I think it can flow.
I really apologize for not responding to chats, but
It's bright out here.
it's pretty bright. Right here it's a little shady, but oh, look at that little birdie. Hey bird, what do you want? It would be there.
So here we've come to another break point in the wall. And each of these pieces has a flat surface on the edge. It looks like a dressed surface. Have a look at this one.
Yeah.
Like it went through some sort of a sophisticated stone planing machine so that each of the courses could remain somewhat true, or there was a transformation, and what we're seeing are what would be described as potential grain growth phenomenon.
Crypto says he's jealous of us because it's snowing in Canada. I mean, I am sweating right now. I put my jacket on. I kept it.
Well, I'm in a t-shirt and shorts, and it's kind of a late summer.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably should have told me just leave the jacket. But I'm in short sleeves. I thought, oh, I need the jacket to protect me from all these branches and stuff. That's why I wear safety goggles all the time. Don't be jealous. Just come join us. There's the top of that wall over there. If that's not the wall, then that's a rather unique
It is the wall.
structure. It looks like it.
It's absolutely the wall. You can see the
Over there.
you can clearly see the segments, the intentional stacking, and it really does continue over this ridge, down the ridge. Now that we're close enough, right across the ravine where the fire road has been cut, the wall continues straight up to the top of the hill and in multiple directions.
Unless you've got some. Look at this. Look at that.
So this wall is going to continue all the way down through the manzanita,
Here's some right here. They did a little.
and it's going to pick up that far wall. If you can just make out the wall, because it's a predictably straight line, you just.
Oh yeah, now I see it. Yeah,
it
it's
picks up.
going all the way back up. You see
Picks up
behind the
immediately.
tree over there.
And then
Here, let me get a side.
there is some
There's something going on here.
there's some built-out possible terracing. There's the material you're standing on has the appearance of it had been plastic. This whole thing looks like it had gone into a state where it was able to slump briefly, instantly re-solidifying, and here's what we see.
Talking about what I'm standing on.
What you're standing on. And this has the appearance of decomposed mortar or aggregate. This little piece of material is really not like the other.
That other stuff on the wall looked like they put it on wet, and it dried, and then it decayed and crumbled. If you're there. Look at the way this one's flattened out right there. This is like almost machining in this way.
How about the face? Because if this has a...
Oh, look at that one. Yeah. Wow.
So this has striations?
Yeah.
Possible straight line tool cutting or advanced chiseling. And that looks like a 1/2 inch thick layer of mortar.
Yeah. Maybe 3/4 of
with
it.
some hollowness. So not the bond. The bond has broken, but it still remains in place.
Sorry, I know it's not very. Look at this part right here. Look at that little side cut, little corner cut. Look at that. It looks like that was the little edge was put on there. Oh wow! And oh look what that is not a rope vulture. That is like a back in Taiwan. Not this phone. This phone is ready to change. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of longer stream. Hope you can stick with us. If you can't, that's okay. But don't be afraid to share. And yeah, if you want to rewind, somebody complained and said they couldn't rewind during a live stream. I didn't have that problem myself, but obviously something was like.
So this has had a change, likely due to heat.
Yeah.
These layers, and they're coming down from a. So everything had to have been up, something up. How about this? How about the glance of that?
Yeah.
We were up there, and you can't really.
It's up there.
You can't tell how
It goes
involved
down
and complicated it
You
is.
can't see where the rest of it is over there. But you can certainly see that wall there. And can you imagine in the 1800s, or somebody was saying the early 1900s? Let me just.
So have a look at this wall that's following the contour.
Right there, yeah. Let me see if we can.
You'll see a biker, mountain bike guy coming, but we're going to be able to walk over to that wall.
See the V right there at the top of the mountain? Go straight down. That's one layer, and then the next layer is the wall.
And then as we come along this trail, we'll see the intersecting wall that runs through this valley.
Let me start moving down. Back to the top. Hardly wants to get up on the wall. It's inviting me. Hopefully this is my final. Oh, that's kind of jiggle. Kind of. There we are. We're on the wall. Be careful. It's a little jiggly. I think there could be a collapse if you're not careful.
And that's the one thing a lot of people don't understand. These walls appear to be, at this point, dry stacked. And they're freestanding, and they seem to hold up even during an earthquake, where the modern walls used by landscapers, these walls are toppling continually. These ones hold their shape and form indefinitely. So here's a look from your wall. Turn right around, and you can see this wall is going to go into the valley and come right up over the top of this hill and continue on. And it goes all the way to the edge of the mine.
Right over there. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm sorry, it's so bright. I'm not seeing any chats at this point. I just want to get down now. Let's see here. There we go. See if we're still live. That was a little bit of a leap. I don't know. The jiggliness of that kind of makes me feel like they had to have had mortar in there that just disappeared. But honestly, I can't see this happening in the 1800s. I can't see this happening anytime in the 1900s, or should I say the 20th century. It's just it's too much work. 3 foot wide? I can see this happening compared to what you see in Africa. So, and Michael Tellen here thinks that's 1 million years old. I don't know about that, but...
So we do see a corner, outside corner. I don't know what the surrounding terrain looks like, but I'm thinking it's probably a predictable polygonal corner element. We'll be able to see from the other side. We'll see back where we were. Always better to see a different vantage point.
If you can hang, we're going to get to the final thing. It's going to be a total freak out. I'm just hoping that down there the stream's working. The Petra-esque structure. It's a cave, right? You brought a flashlight?
Yes.
And by the way, I'm surprised I'm not worn out. I'm just so stoked to be out here walking around with you that last time I climbed mountains like this, I was dying. And I'm telling you guys, I'm fatter than I have been in a long time, so I need to mark.
So we have some more elements and
That's it.
throughways. And up here is something, we don't have time to go up there right now, but there's a tremendous amount of these outcroppings with this very unfamiliar or understandable layers. So briefly,
Look at that. What's that? Another wall?
so this is another remnant wall. It's interrupted by this likely...
This style looks
This
a
is,
little different. Like maybe there was like another project going on here with the shape of these rocks.
But notice how this
thing, what is
potentially 125-year-old tree is growing out of the end of the wall. And this part of the wall,
How beautiful that is.
this part of the wall looks like it has concretions, and it's a very large block, and then it continues to the small blocks again.
Okay, so you think it's 125 years old, that tree?
Maybe.
It reminds me of Cambodia when the trees are growing all over there. I went there too. And those are, what were those trees? They were called, I forgot. It wasn't
Okay.
right for test. Look at the wall over there. That must be the same thing. So somebody maybe made a little encompassment right here, and those stones are different, except for that big huge one and the fact that the tree's growing on it. But maybe those are older. Maybe those are older. But we went over to San Francisco.
That's correct. Palace of Fine Arts and Fort Point Explorer.
Yeah, and I didn't post a lot of that, but the reason why is because it's going to go on the Patreon. What? Who said that? Patreon? I mean, look, guys. It's definitely. Uh-oh, be careful.
I've been up here before.
It's up there too, but you got to be careful, man.
This is not...
I want to get you live streamed.
Right, did I die?
Yeah.
I've been up here on the top before, but I don't usually run up with my gear.
Yeah, the gear. You got the gear. $2,000 worth of gear. And
So I'm pretty high up in this channel, and we see the obvious lichen and the various layers. It's having the appearance of mortar. It was a very unusual tree here. Do you see this guava tree?
yeah, I think it's a strawberry guava.
Amazing.
Actually, if you pop those open, they'd be pink.
Well, I'm going to go back through this tunnel and show the condition of the wall. So there are very familiar scratch marks, machine marks.
If I go in there, it's gonna be-
So we have a very abrupt inside. Watching it come out the other side.
Yeah, go ahead. And right, the doorway he's about to come out, look behind on the wall at those chisel marks, how deep they are. Somebody really hammered the heck out of it. I mean, I think it looks hand done with those chisel marks, but not the main parts cut out. It's kind of weird. Like, you're not going to hand chisel this whole thing, are you? I guess you could quarry it and then break and quarry and break. But why would you? Oh, now I lost it? Okay, I'm live again. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm not going to, if it suddenly stops streaming, I'm not going anywhere. So. Like I said, I think that's the original wall for whatever this project was. And maybe there's a hole in there that went someplace, but it's covered up. And whew, I'm getting worn out.
We've been up in the hills for a while.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna be out of here at 1, and now it's almost 2. So we gotta be trekking out of here, I think. But yeah, so this part of the wall looks like it's older, and then I don't know, and you kind of have like another enclave like we just saw over there. We're gonna start hiking. Oh, I only have 2 viewers now, so 5 thumbs up. But I just dropped from like 9 viewers to 2.